Do you have everything you need set up to be a successful crochet business? There are a number of legal things that you need to have set up, and if you don't, it can present problems down the road trying to backtrack and get some of these things together. I am Beth. I am a registered nurse diabetes educator, and I do have a professional LLC for that business. And then, having gone down the business road with my Crochet RX, I have a few different experiences going down this business path. Thankfully, I was able to get information from an attorney that made a number of documents up front and was able to start the correct way right off the top. There are a number of contracts and legal documents that have to be original to you. You cannot copy and paste off of somebody else's website or other contract agreements. That is illegal, and you could be sent a cease and desist order. So something to keep in mind is to get all of your contracts on the up and up from the very beginning. If you have a website, there are certain privacy policies that you need, there are certain disclaimers that you need to have, there are certain terms of use or terms and conditions to set up on your different sales sites and your website. And if you don't have that, you could be held liable for certain rules in the United States. I am not an attorney. This is not legal advice. This is just the pathway that I took, and I just want to help other people be thinking about these questions. And then I will also link the information from Vander Wielen, and that is the attorney that I purchased a group of contracts and disclosures and all the legal templates I needed. I purchased from her about 3 years ago now, and I have been able to use them for both business endeavors. She has both the contracts for working one-on-one with individuals like I would in my professional LLC, as I work with individuals and their health, as well as that could also be applicable for anybody who coaches other individuals as a crochet business or other arrangements that you have. So those are things to think about. She has a webinar where it talks about the 5 things that you need to become legally appropriate. I can't think of her words. They're cute. They're trademarked. She has them trademarked for her. And those are it. She's very down to earth, and also with her contracts, she walks you step by step through filling out every single contract. She explains why that portion of the contract is necessary, what it applies to, and why the wording is as such. So I felt a whole lot more enabled and confident in the stuff that I was putting forward. So as we go through these things, just keep in mind that these are things that you will need to research for your own location, your state. Some may or may not apply. Some different business types are not available in all states, and so you do need to look into that. One of the first things you need to consider is if you are working as a sole proprietor or if you want to form a limited liability corporation, an LLC, which helps to protect your personal assets from any litigation. So depending on your state and the opportunities that you have, you may be limited into what that is. As a professional in North Carolina, I filed my professional LLC under my nursing license. The state requires an annual fee in order to keep up an LLC that's not nested under a business license. You can also file or work as a sole proprietor, potentially filing a DBA, doing business as. Depending on your state, you may need to file per county, you may need to file per the state, and that would be something to look into as well. You also need to think about your tax implications. Are you going to file for an EIN, or will you just file under your social security number for any income or things like that. Business banking, there are certain banking accounts that you can do under your own. For many of those, having the EIN can be easier in obtaining some of those business opportunities. You may also need to think about your tax ID for sales tax. Depending on where you live, whether or not you have to collect sales tax on the items that you sell. Potentially, if you are crocheting clothing or something like that, you may be in an area where you don't collect sales tax on clothing items. But if that doesn't apply to you, you definitely need to look at your sales tax laws, see if there is a point at which you do have to start collecting sales tax after a certain dollars amount of sales, or if it starts on day one with your first sale. Some areas also require local business licenses, so that can be something to consider as well. Even if your area does not require a local business license, that may be something that you have to get temporarily if you do vendor events. Just because you reside in an area that does not require a specific local business license, you may be selling in another area that does require such a business license. So it may be a temporary license that you need to purchase. The same could be said for insurance. You need to think about liability insurance, potentially property insurance, if you have inventory and things like that. Some homeowners policies will cover small business things up to a certain point. Some will not. I would definitely check with your insurance broker and your insurance policy to see if something like that is covered in your current existing policy. There are also short-term policies available for specific shows that may require a certain threshold of insurance. So those can be purchased for a weekend, for a month, depending on how many times you need to use it. You can definitely purchase short-term policies for that kind of thing. As you look at your websites, where you're going to sell, how you're going to sell, you may want to look at some of those privacy policies and disclaimers. They are required for certain jurisdictional areas, and having the default that comes with whomever you are working your website through may not be sufficient for your own business. Having the knowledge of what is in those different policy types and what is in those different disclaimers can really be resourceful and an asset to you to know what you're talking about and know what limitations there are in regards to sales. You can put in what kind of return policy you have, what sort of repairs, if you do repairs on any of the things that you sell. All of those things can be put in to these various terms and conditions, disclaimers, all of that kind of stuff. If you do pattern testing or you hire individuals to help with your editing of your videos or any other aspect of your business, you might consider non-disclosure agreements, because you don't want somebody who's doing a pattern test for you to go out and share it to another pattern creator who then releases something exceedingly similar to what you have. Certainly, there's only so many ways that you are going to make a penguin or you are going to make a turtle. However, when it's very obvious that it's the exact same thing, perhaps a non-disclosure agreement would be in your benefit, and that is something that you can then enforce should something come down the road. Affiliate agreements are another thing that is very prominent in our community. If you have an affiliate link with Amazon, you have signed a type of affiliate agreement. If you have somebody who is sponsoring your videos, you have a type of affiliate agreement. As I am so passionate about Sam's templates and contracts, I signed up to be an affiliate for that. And so for individuals that do buy any of her contracts, I do get a teeny tiny kickback on that, a small percentage. So stuff like that is nice to get a little bit in return for things that you tend to be very passionate about. So hopefully this has given you a few things to think about. It certainly can be very overwhelming in the beginning as you try and get these documents filled out with different legal documents, different federal documents, the new disclosures of owners for various businesses. It can be a lot. So just keep an open mind, and you can watch her little webinar for free, and she can give you some better tips, as an attorney can, of where to get information, what you need to make sure you're doing so that you can cross those T's and dot those I's and do all that good stuff. So hopefully this has been helpful. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. I would certainly appreciate a like, a follow, and if you feel so inclined, put a little note in the comments, put a little star in there and let me know that you got a gold star for reaching the end of the video. And if you have questions, please reach out. Again, I am not an attorney. I can't give legal advice. I just know that I am somebody who has been down this path. 3 years ago, I did this for my professional LLC and went through all that paperwork. And as I do the same thing now, over the years with my crochet business, it's definitely feels more manageable because I've definitely been down this road before. So you guys take care. We will talk to you next time. If you are in an area of the country that is getting hit once again with winter weather advisories, such as us in North Carolina, please stay safe, stay warm.